The Golf Movie Podcast has categories, and they are golf categories, and we're going to discuss them now. So let's go through our nominees for the best golf scenes before we choose them. We have the opening oneer, Danny and Ty. We have the first golf scene with Judge Smales, followed in the group behind by Al Cervic, which includes sort of the dancing montage. The next golf scene is the barefoot golf scene. And you and I have golfed barefoot before. It's wonderful. Highly recommended to people. And then, of course, we get the Caddy Championship, where Danny is victorious. We have the Storm, the Bishop's golf scene in the rain, where he's hit by lightning, and the climactic final golf scene. Brett, which one is your favorite?
Wow. My favorite for sure is Ty doing the no. I struggled with if this was a proper golf category, but I'm glad you put it up there as one of the options.
Don't be obsessed with your desires, Danny. The Zen philosopher Basho once wrote, "A flute with no holes is not a flute. And a donut with no hole is a Danish." He's a funny guy.
You missed just that one.
In one physical model of the universe, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. In the opposite direction, Danny.
Unbelievable.
Thank you very little.
It's golf. I mean, the other one that's kind of, is it golf or is it not golf, would be Ty and Bill Murray. It's golf related kind of thing. There's a lot of sort of golf related scenes, but they don't really happen on the golf course. If you consider Ty and Bill Murray a golf scene, that would probably be my favorite. But I think I actually really love the opening scene where Ty and Danny are sort of walking down the fairway, and it gives for the first time, it gives them the Zen philosopher Basho. You've got Be the Ball. You get, do you do Doug's, Danny? And of course, working in a lumberyard. That quick. It's automatically, like right out of the gate, that sets the tone for the dialogue, for the mood, for Chevy as an actor. It has it all for me. I think that's probably,
it's a good one.
I've talked myself into that being my favorite golf scene.
It's a good one.
Hey, Mr. Webb, can I ask you something?
Sure thing. Shoot, Timmy.
Danny,
When
you were my age, did you ever have trouble deciding what you wanted to do with your life?
No, I never had that problem, really. Why?
Forget it. I didn't think you'd understand.
You take drugs, Danny?
Every day.
Good. So what's the problem?
I don't know. I gotta go to college. I gotta.
Danny, this isn't Russia. Is this Russia? This isn't Russia, is it?
Nah.
I don't think so. For money.
It's just that my dad, Hank, he can't afford it. I haven't even told him about the scholarship I didn't get. I'm gonna end up working in a lumberyard the rest of my life.
What's wrong with lumber? I own 2 lumber yards.
I notice you don't spend too much time there.
Not sure where they are.
Favorite non-golf scene we have as the nominees, there's Gunga Galunga. There's sort of the fighting scene at the Caddyshack. There is the opening, the first scene inside the clubhouse where Ty and Smales are in the locker room. There's the entrance of Al Cervic into the clubhouse. There is the ballroom dining room scene. There's the veranda scene. There is Ty's I was born to love you. I was born to touch your face. Touch your face? To lick your face. Yes. Yeah. Then there is the pool scene, which I know is not your favorite, but it has boobies in it. So maybe this one comes up a notch. There's the yacht club. There's the getting caught in bed. There's the office scene with the judge. There's the sort of negotiation scene. Then I guess there's Bill Murray and Ty. Those would be our nominees for best non-golf scene.
Yeah, so if we're considering, again, this is a non-golf scene, this is hands down best.
Tie list? That's it. Yeah, it's right here. This your place, Carl? Yeah, what do you think? It's really awful. But I have a lot of things that are on order. Credit trouble. I'm an assistant greenskeeper. They say that doesn't mean anything, until I'm the head greenskeeper.
Can you give me a ruling on this?
Well, sit down. Come on.
No, I don't want to stick to anything in here. I can just get right.
I invented my own kind of grass, too. Did you know that? Look at this. This is registered. Carl Spackler bench. You can play 36 holes on it in the afternoon. Take it home and just get stoned to the bejesus belt that night on this stuff. I got pounds of this stuff. Here. It's a little harsh. But here, cannonball it. Then we'll go right back. And then one more of these right on top of it. Cannonball! Cannonball coming. Cannonball coming. No!
I mean, I love watching these two together, especially in their primes. Too many good lines.
Yeah. Some would even say this is before their primes. This is one of Bill Murray's early one, right? My favorite here is definitely, though, it is Chevy Chase in his home.
Yeah.
Basically serenading Lacey Underall.
Sing me a love song.
I'm gonna. I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first. Let's go into the patio.
You love the charisma of Ty with Bill Murray. I love the charisma of Ty with Lacey Underall. But really, it's this Chevy Chase that makes this whole movie.
Absolutely.
So let's get to Best Actors now. And I think one of the ways that I'd like to structure this is the quality of an actor is what they can do with the material that they're given. So I would like us to think about these roles as, is it a great acting performance in a great role? Is it a great acting performance in a poorly written role, right? Is it a poor acting performance in a superbly written role? You know, do they butcher it? Or is it a poor performance in a poor role? Where are we then in this criteria with Michael O'Keefe?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really love Danny in this. He's probably my least favorite. Well, it's not my least favorite, but he's up there. I think it could have been better.
It could have been anybody in this role, to be honest. Michael O'Keefe didn't really go on to do much to achieve any other notoriety, really. He's known for Caddyshack, The Great Santini, Michael Clayton. He's in Billions now, apparently. MacGyver, the TV series. To me, that's not a lot. He just sort of, he blends into the scenery really well. I mean, he's a good enough actor, but not superb. I think it's a fairly well-written role, but he doesn't really make it come off the page. He's playing second fiddle to really the champion comedic actors in this movie. Yeah. But he does well. I mean, you believe that he's this kind of hard luck story, and he plays off the other actors really well. So he's just right. Bill Murray.
So he's probably my favorite. And yeah, whenever I think of Bill Murray, I mean, he's got so many iconic roles through his career, but to me, this is number one.
And also, when you think about it in the criteria that we lay out, they wrote almost nothing for him. In true Judd Apatow fashion, like basically there was not much of a script for him coming into this film, and he makes up all this stuff on the spot. Harold Ramis only really had to give him an idea. It's like, do you ever pretend that you're, there's announcers like in your head doing this? He's like, yeah, I got it. And then he creates one of the most iconic golf scenes in sports movie history. The same with Gunga Galunga, right? Like he's got all these caddy stories. I think Bill Murray, with absolutely no material to work with, he knocks it out of the park, and he creates one of the most legendary characters in maybe certainly all of golf, but maybe even sports movie history.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to mention about Bill Murray, he was the last actor to be cast in a major role, and they did not have anybody. They needed at least one big name actor in this film before they would let them make it, basically. And Bill Murray was it.
Starting on Saturday Night Live, was it?
He was, yeah, that's right. Cindy Morgan as Lacey Underall.
I think she did amazing with it. Pretty well written for her, and she did well.
It could have been a sleazy, certainly it's a very sexy role, but it could have been like uber sexed. And it definitely had a lot of sexiness in it,
Yeah.
But again, she's got this charm. She's got this like playful likability, this sweetness that, we've talked about throughout this movie review, but
she's not a bitch.
It's not a well-written role per se, but she nails it with all her subtlety and charm. It's really great.
Cool.
Chevy Chase as Ty Webb.
It's similar to Bill Murray. Like a lot of the improv they was able to do at the time, the physical humor. I mean, he's just hilarious, and he pulled off that playboyish type thing. It's really not him.
You're right. He's the perfect rich idiot playboy.
But I don't know. He just played it so well. Like I wouldn't have pictured him doing that role. Like pick somebody as this rich playboy.
Yeah. He's masculine. He's sexy. He's witty. He's smart. He's a shrewd negotiator. He's not vain. He doesn't play for the money. His house is a mess.
He has that quiet confidence.
Yeah.
And not give a shit type of.
He's a philosopher. I would say this is a well-written role and a superb performance. Maybe it's not a well-written role. A superb performance in a moderately well-written role. It doesn't have a ton of delivery. It's Chevy Chase's delivery of everything.
Well written in this movie, probably not much.
Yeah.
So it's all in how they pulled it off, and most of them did fantastic.
I feel like he's probably the only one that could have delivered it in the way that it comes through in this thing. Rodney Dangerfield as Al Cervic.
It's another one of those ones. Who else could you picture doing it? I mean, no one. Even re-scripting that, like who could do it?
Have you seen Caddyshack 2?
No.
Okay. They couldn't get Rodney Dangerfield because obviously as a result of this movie and Back to School, he kind of blew up and he became very expensive for those kind of things. And they didn't have the budget to hire him for the sequel. And because of that, they get another actor to still play Al Cervic, who is a sort of a fast talking stand-up comedian actor who is very Al Cervic-like, very Rodney Dangerfield-like, but just it's not Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
There was only really one Rodney Dangerfield. And with he makes the most absurd fucking jokes. Amelia Earhart gave me head. He farts at a dining table. There is just ridiculous, buffoonish stuff, but it just comes off so well.
He does it.
Yeah.
Like I said, no one else. I don't think anybody else could.
Yeah. And he was so nervous in this role because this was actually his first cinematic role. And so when they would have scenes where, Harold Ramis says action and he doesn't know that he's supposed to come out because he's just not used to being told that action means, okay, now you come on stage and you do your bit. And so, but he just absolutely nails it. A legendary character. Ted Knight as Judge Smales.
Well, you covered it already. He does ties into everybody in the movie, all the characters. Does a great job at being this sleazy, supposedly upstanding citizen. Well, do you want to be good? Danny? He's just perfect.
And he's the most over the top character in this whole thing. Like even Bill Murray's character is very slapstick and buffoonish, but understated in a way. This is the only character in the film who is throwing 100 miles an hour out of the bullpen when he comes into his scenes. I don't think it's a well-written role either. He does get a lot of dialogue, but like I said, in the hands of a clumsier actor, like this would not be the central role. You like him. You like his scenes. Like if it was like a mean guy or like a really truly sleazy guy, he is all those things, but he's funny at the same time.
Yeah.
So there are some movies where you actually genuinely don't like that antagonist, that main evil character, but you actually kind of really like it, or at least you like watching him, right? You like watching
somewhat.
him.
Yeah. You're still cheering against him, but you're not hating every scene he's in.
That's it. You don't hate his scenes, right? You don't hate his scenes. I look forward to his scenes, even though he is the enemy of the whole film. And Sarah Holcomb, as the love interest of Danny Noonan. So, tell us more about this.
It's just annoying as shit. I mean, again, it's not a well-written role by any means, but I mean, it's every scene she's in, it's like fingernails on a chalkboard for me. Yeah, I could do without her.
I wonder if it's because I saw Animal House first, and she was that underage girl that was whatever the kind of love interest of one of the main characters, and I really liked her in that. But I'd never even realized that this was her until now, right? But I don't know if that made some sort of impression to me. But again, it was like the Irish accent that I loved. I found her so cute. If I were in this movie, she would actually be the character that I'd found more attractive than Lacey Underall.
Oof.
But that's just me.
Okay.
Honorable mention here to Henry Wilcoxon, the Bishop, legendary actor. Let us look through Henry Wilcoxon's filmography. He's in silent films. This is incredible. Almost every photo of him in IMDb is black and white. He's in the 10 Commandments. Scaramouche, Cagney and Lacey, The Doomsday Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never know who this guy is.
Yeah. But I think one thing this movie does well is like those little bit pieces, including Dr. Beeper, who's a goofy slapstick guy. It just hits all the right notes.
He has
your favorite scene.
Best line in the movie.
There is no God. Are there any actors where this is their it movie? Like when you think of this actor, is this the first movie that comes to mind?
Yeah, like I mentioned, Bill Murray. I mean, a lot of these unknowns, right? It's the only movie that I would know them from.
Rodney Dangerfield, yeah, for most.
Yep, that's another one. I wouldn't say it's the same for Ty Webb. I mean,
See,
I think Chevy Chase.
when
I
think,
like Three Amigos.
Yeah, I love
so
Three Amigos.
For me, that pops up in my head.
For me, I think
Vacation,
for me, this is Chevy Chase's it movie. Like this is where he hits on all the right notes that he has in other characters and other films. It's not for Bill Murray. I go Ghostbusters with Bill Murray for that one. And then Ted Knight, like I don't know any other movies that Ted Knight is into.
No.
Okay, Ted Knight's filmography. Let's look at this. The Love Boat, 8 episodes of the TV series. The Ted Knight Show, that's interesting. 6 episodes. Busting Loose.
Well, I think it's the Mary Tyler
Moore Show.
Moore show that he was most known for. But I never watched that.
Yeah. So for me, I guess Ted Knight, this would be his it movie for me.
Yep.
Yeah. How realistic is the golf? Is it believable that these are golfers?
Well, not really. It depends. No, they're not even talking about scores for the most part. So I guess theoretically it could be if they're actually sort of masquerading as showing these people as really good golfers.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But if they're all just, 20 handicap golfers just going out there and sort of competing in that regard, then it's realistic.
I get some serious Donald Trump vibes when I look at Rodney Dangerfield. Goofy swing that really shouldn't make sense, but he hits the ball a long way and he hits fairways and he hits cups.
He's good, yeah.
That's Donald Trump vibes. So I can kind of see that. Like that's the only thing that kind of makes that believable. The only way that I think Rodney Dangerfield's game could actually fit in this movie is if he really is kind of a Donald Trump character, just sort of makes it work.
Yeah.
Pace of play. This movie is 1 hour and 38 minutes long. Is that too much or too little?
Just right.
Yeah.
It just, I think we mentioned it a couple of times. It just flowed nicely. All the scenes, nothing stayed on one thing for too long. Nothing got boring.
You get in and out. Yeah. Absolutely right. I think
and it's all cohesive.
It doesn't fail where a lot of movies fail today, where they're just like 20 minutes too long, or in some cases they're 45 minutes too long, and they would be amazing movies. Are there some scenes in this movie that you want to stay with a little bit longer?
I'd like to see more of Bill Murray and Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
There are more scenes that way, and just more Bill Murray in general would have been nice.
How about things you could do without? You've already mentioned the pool scene, which is hotly contested. I love the pool scene.
I don't think there's a point to it.
Right. There's not a point to some of them, but that one does stand out.
Yeah.
What does it give you? It gives you a poop joke, right? That's what it all builds up to. Yeah. It gives you a bit of Bill Murray. You don't have that Bill Murray scene if you don't have that. Yeah. I could do without the Irish Catholic family in the beginning. Like they obviously had, 5 or 10 more mini scenes. There was a lot more in that story that they actually just cut out. They couldn't cut it out all the way, but I get now that I understand that Brian Doyle Murray and Bill Murray that was their childhood growing up. They wanted to keep that nod in there and give Danny a little bit of background, and it works as kind of like an entry point into the movie. So I get it, but I didn't really need that.
No, I thought it was a good part of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought it was a good tie-in, and it wasn't long. So they're just clips and just kind of showing. Makes a little more sense when you have it.
Yeah.
If you got rid of it, I don't know.
Yeah. I think one of the things that this movie definitely misses is a lot of that climactic match. Or maybe you keep it sort of abbreviated, but I just don't get the sense that Danny and Ty are coming back from 5 down on the last 9, because all the shots they show them playing on that back 9 are really quite poor.
Yeah.
And they don't, even if their shots are poor, they don't show enough poor shots from Judge Smales and Dr. Beeper to make that comeback to 18 make sense. So I feel a bit robbed that they made this heroic comeback, but we don't really get to see any of it.
Yeah.
I would love to extend that a little bit.
That's true.
And get a little bit more there.
Yep, that's fair.
I mentioned this at the beginning. I think that there could be a limited Netflix series of Caddyshack made today where you focus on the caddies. You think about it.
Not a reality series.
Not a reality series, a comedy series, like a Community or a Parks and Recreation kind of thing. Think about it. You've got so much content there. You've got a lot of varied inputs. You got local kids. You've got summer kids. You've got exchange kids, like the Irish love interest comes in. Seasoned caddies, younger caddies. This melting pot of characters, and that's not even talking about the golfers.
Yeah.
You do the exact same thing with golfers coming from all walks of life, all disciplines, but they're all members. Like you get Cervic plus the judge, plus a bishop, plus a doctor. You could have all kinds of cameos. You could have pro sports personalities coming in. There's no shortage of people who would want to be featured on this kind of Netflix show. You'd have no problem with sponsorship and getting money for it. Any big name brand would want to be plastered all over this show. And then you can weave a storyline throughout the entire series with, a young up and coming caddy who doesn't necessarily want to go to college. Maybe he wants to be a pro tour caddy. Maybe he finds a pro to latch onto. Maybe you go on this sort of rags to riches journey where it's high stakes. You're trying to make it as a pro caddy, but you've got the risk of always just flaming out and coming back and huffing 2 bags for the Haverkamps for the rest of your life kind of thing. And it could be also a male and female character. I think there's a lot there.
There could be.
Fuck, maybe that's an idea.
I like it. Pitch it.
Got it. Let's do needle drops. There's not a lot of music, but it is just the right music. First of all, Kenny Loggins, I'm All Right. You get that twice. Absolute banger.
He's not going to work at the lumberyard.
Well, he isn't going to be a caddy all his life, is he?
I'm all right. Nobody worry about me. Why you got to give me a fight? Can't you just let it be? I'm all right. Don't nobody worry about me. You got to give me a fight. Why don't you just let me be? Who do you want? Who you gonna be tonight? Who is it real? Make it up your mind.
Any Way You Want It plays when Al Cervic is dancing on the golf course.
Whenever I hear that song, that's all I think about.
Hey, what do you got here, rocks?
Are you kidding? When I was your age, I would lug 50 pounds of ice up 5, 6 flights of stairs.
So what?
So what? So let's dance.
I was alone. I never knew what good love could
No, devil.
we touched, then we sang about the love that makes
The man's a menace.
all night,
Cut that off!
every night. So
Music is a violation of my personal privacy. He's breaking the law.
For me, every time I hear Boogie Wonderland, I'm now going to think of this movie because I have loved Boogie Wonderland, and I had no idea that it was in this movie.
Hey, Ringo, play something hot, will you? And you guys, take some more lessons. Hey, Judge, give someone else a chance. Huh, you walking devil? Come here, honey. Hey, loosen up, will you?
There's a really cool Kenny Loggins song called Mr. Knight that they play during the pool scene, which like I actually Googled it and I've added it to my golf playlists. It's a great little tune.
I skipped the pool scene, remember?
Fyodor Ilyich Tchaikovsky, then you would skip Waltz of the Flowers. And then, of course, if they could just sort of take the Born to Love You and remix that into like a hip hop song or something nowadays, I'm going to pitch that one too.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
Any more on the music?
No.
Let's do fashion. This is a late 70s, early 80s movie, and there is a lot of late 70s, early 80s fashion. Ty Webb has a very consistent wardrobe here. It's always that flat cap that's matching the pants, and it'll go different color shirts, right? Sometimes barefoot, sometimes not. Do you have a favorite look in this movie?
I didn't like any of them. But I love, as far as that golf attire, the Havercaps, Havercaps. I mean, that's classic stuff. Right?
The browns. It had to be just sort of deep browns and sweaters and high socks.
So classic.
And berets. The sweaters. Lou Loomis is fantastic here with the fedora and like the button downs and the big collars. Judge Smales has a number of really nice three-piece suits that are, of course, timeless. I really like the ladies' fashion here. You've got a lot of color matching. You got a lot of kind of patterns, a lot of one-piece skirts.
That's why the girls like to golf.
They like
to have their golf outfits.
I think that's why Carl loves the ladies, man. There are some buffoonish suits here that... Spalding. There is one at the end where he's wearing denim jeans that are kind of folded up at the bottom. Danny's wardrobe is really terrible. It's a lot of browns and tans, and the buttons that go down to the belly button are not enough to rescue this for me.
No.
When I think about my favorite, though, the buttons that go down deep into the chest, down to the belly, it's Judge Smales. He's got this...
He doesn't have enough chest hair. That needs to be coming out.
I would say he's got just the right amount of chest hair. The pattern on these pants is really nice. They're like a linen with that fedora that he ditched in the pro shop. That would have went really nicely with this.
Could have.
Kind of playing off that sort of rainbow color spectrum. So when we think about rainbow color spectrum, we get Rodney Dangerfield. Wow.
Him and Wang. Awesome.
Wong. Should be Wong, not Wang or Wong. Wong. And the white belt. Like, I didn't actually notice this, but see, where's the white belt with the red pants? Oh, honorable mention here to the bishop. If you notice everything he wears from the first scene where he meets Lacey Underall to this one where he's in that sort of green top, he's got a little crucifix right on the breast of his shirts. A really nice touch.
See, that's a good golf outfit.
It's tie. Everything, you go white top, white bottom, anything in between, really great looks. And actually the sans belt pants, like just the button belt pants, so nice. And the footwear in this film is excellent. Ty's got great footwear. You get a lot of those saddle shoes with like the flap over it. Yeah. A lot of those two-tone shoes that you get some nice browns here as well. Really elegant stuff. Even Lil Loomis gets in on the act with some saddle-toed shoes with the flap on it. Do you have a favorite outfit? What would you wear?
What would I wear?
Is there something here that you would wear?
Ties.
Yeah.
No question.
100%. Absolutely.
It's the closest.
Yeah. Yeah.
But favorite isn't like the most goofiest. It has to be cervix.
Which one? You've got this watermelon pant or the red with the rainbow
The
sweater?
rainbow. Love it. Absolutely awesome.
Iconic. I think if there's
Yeah.
something that you want from this movie to own, it's like the cervix bag
Yeah.
or that jumper,
Yeah, look.
that
amazing.
cardigan. Oh, Brett, we have talked about almost everything that we can talk about. How do we end this? Is this movie a bogey, par, birdie, eagle, or ace?
Well, we're doing it first for a reason. This is an ace.
It's an ace. It's an ace. I wouldn't be surprised if we fall in love with another golf movie as we kind of rewatch them now, knowing that this climactic scene kind of falls on its ass. We'll see. But for me, this is absolutely number one. And I'm glad that it's the first one we've done. I don't think there's any question that we could have done another movie to start off Golf Movie Podcast. And I don't think there's someone that I would have rather have done this with than you. Any closing thoughts?
No, this has been fun. Again, it's this is the only movie I can think of that does service to this podcast as the number one.
There is a 1930s movie musical based on a Broadway show that is a comedy and a romance. At some point, we are going to do that. You don't have to do that one with me. We can pick another one, but I would love to do this with you again if you'll have me.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Brett. Much
Buddy.
appreciated. Take care, everybody.